Yeah, Andre Hernandez 2 days ago was the 10th anniversary of the discontinuation of the EU. I saw that. Um, I hadn't been following that, because I mean dates and numbers anyway. But I found out about it because Matt Wilkins did a really fun video on that day. Um, it is a bummer, right? It's a bummer, and and I have no problem with people, marking that. It's like, yeah, man, this sucks, But at this point, so you 10 years away from them discontinuing the EU and Disney, we're doing our own thing. And 10 years of Disney suck is basically what we've had. And no more EU stories, unless you count, I think they did one comic, and then unless you count the Star Wars The Old Republic MMO, which is technically still set in the EU. But a lot of people might say, okay, 10 years away from the discontinuation of the EU, how sad we are. Oh, if only we had more. Honestly, given the state of media these days, given the state of the entertainment industry, I am thrilled. I am thrilled that the EU uh, got out before everything went to crap. I mean, could you imagine EU books being written today? Now, I love the EU, and I would love, in theory, yes, to see many, many more continuations of those wonderful stories. But could you imagine EU books being written today? Could you imagine EU books being written through the Me Too movement, through the BLM movement, through the whole gender is fluid movement? I mean, could you imagine what they would, a lot of the same writers and the same, people behind the EU, the wonderful work that they did wonderful work. And I'll never, turn up my nose at the work they did before, because it was great. But a lot of these same people just, went psycho with the wokeisms that happened over the past decade, and you can just imagine how they would have dragged the EU through the muck and the garbage. And if it hadn't been discontinued, I think today we'd be looking back and saying, 10 years ago the EU stopped being worth anything. Maybe not exactly 10 years ago, but you know what I mean. So on the one hand, I would love to have seen more EU content. On the other hand, man, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Sound Engraver and I are watching Stargate. It's my third time watching it through, and it's her first time, and she's loving it, and I'm having a blast rewatching it. And we were saying today, every couple of years, if you're a Stargate fan, it's no more than a year before there are rumblings about another series or a reboot. Now they're going to make a movie, or now they're going to do a series or whatever. And every time there's rumblings, I'm thinking, please, God, no, just let it be the amazing thing that it was. I don't care if all the same people come back, Robert Cooper and Brad Wright. I don't care that they it's today's culture. They're going to run it through the ground, run it into the garbage. And that's what Stargate Universe was, and that was even before all the wokeism hit, because they were just, let's do something different, just for the heck of it. So but yeah, I found out about the anniversary because Matt Wilkins did a great video. And I gotta say, first of all, Matt Wilkins, we need to talk about the fall of Matt Wilkins. Matt Wilkins, just, the man's got problems, and the man is just, he deserves to be attacked. Really, he really did. No, I'm just kidding. He did this whole video when, Matt's a dear friend. He did this whole video, kind of going back and talking about the last 10 years, because his channel, he's just always been a real stalwart of the EU and given so much great information on the EU. And he talked about the last 10 years and some of the drama that some people have, coming against him and everything. And I didn't know anything about this. I found out a little bit out of it when somebody left a comment on an old video I did where I was interviewing Matt Wilkins about his, favorite heroes and heroic inspiration of heroes, that stream he used to do. And he was, and somebody left a comment saying, Matt Wilkins is blah, 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 blah. And I was like, who is this guy? And I looked him up, and he did like a fall of Matt Wilkins video and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, man, that right there illegitimizes any troll on the internet ever. If Matt Wilkins, like the most genuinely nice person you will ever meet on the face of the earth, if he has trolls on the internet, then, there's no credit to anything a troll says ever, because, but he did a funny video kind of talking about the last 10 years, just dealing with some of the drama and things like that. So, yeah, that's how I found out about it. So you had me there on Matt Wilkins at first. No, I just thought that was so ridiculous. Somebody did the fall of Matt Wilkins. I'm like, dude, just he has this channel and he's had a blast with it. He talks about the EU because he loves the EU. He talks about board games because he loves the board. Dude's just having fun, and there are actually people that get a stick up their butt about that and need to go, we need to take him down. It just cracks me up how ridiculously idiotic people are sometimes. Yeah, it's people, and the internet is just like gonna, uh, attracts the flies. It's going to. Chat there, Tom Spiegel, great to see you. Yeah, EU books presented today would be a nightmare. They would be all written by committees of radicalized hipsters and activists. Yeah, just no thank you. No thank you.